Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Boy, oh boy, if Elon Musk knows how to play 4D chess, we could literally before our eyes be seeing the unfolding of that 4D chess. I mean, this is absolutely remarkable because now there's talk about potentially the United States government, the Biden administration, potentially shutting down the Twitter deal. And so obviously this is leading Twitter shares to have a little bit of pressure under their stack. Twitter shares right now down only about 4%. In pre-market, they were down about 16%. So some of that pain has gone away. But it's another stain in this potential deal going through. And in this video, we're going to talk about how could potentially the government shut this deal down. But then we'll also talk about, is it possible that Elon Musk coaxed or invited the government to potentially shut this deal down? Because after all, he doesn't want to maybe buy Twitter. And even though he's coming across as wanting to buy Twitter and posting tweets about how he's going to buy Twitter, how could he behind the scenes actually be making it unappetizing for the government to allow this deal to go through? Maybe dragging this deal out to April when Elon Musk's financing finally expires. He's got about 6 months to go before his financing expires. And that is his remaining contingency, obviously barring the government just completely blocking this. If this gets delayed until April and Elon Musk's financing contingency expires, the banks will almost certainly walk away from this deal for Elon Musk. Which, the deal not happening, that is Elon buying a Twitter not happening, would probably be a good thing for things like Tesla stock. But folks, let's jump into some of the details here. So, there is this committee. It's kind of like a secretive committee called the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. This is a committee that sometimes operates under the cover of darkness. That is, it's not a surprise that Joe Biden came out and the Biden administration were like, oh, we had no idea they were potentially investigating Twitter. But then again, politics is such that on one hand, you're kind of like, oh, I had no idea. But on the other hand, you kind of ordered it. That part doesn't so much matter, but this committee has been responsible for blocking some of Trump's doings, Obama's doings. Regarding Trump, there has been a lot of involvement regarding this committee and Trump and China, but more importantly, this is a committee that reviews acquisitions generally by or in the United States by foreign buyers to make sure if they're legally possible. And after all, the Twitter deal is interesting because you've got a lot of investors in it, like Binance, who's owned by a Chinese foreign national. You've got the prince of one of the princes of Saudi Arabia. I'm gonna mess this up, but I think it's Al Walid bin Talal. That's my best pronunciation attempt. And you've got the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Qatar. So you've got a lot of these foreign organizations and institutions and people involved in the Twitter deal. And so it makes sense that the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States would be involved. But you wonder if this committee is potentially being weaponized to stall the deal for some fear that this Twitter deal will have some form of national security risk. Now, is it potentially possible that this committee wasn't actually worried about blocking Twitter until the Twitter deal, until Elon Musk started causing some controversy over the last few weeks? Now, I talked about and summarized all of the controversies going on with Elon Musk, and I'll put a little pin up here somewhere for the prior video on exactly this. But one of the things to consider is the summary. Elon Musk has kind of hinted at having talked to Putin. Now, he previously says that was only about Starlink, but then he started running polls that somewhat made some people think that Elon Musk was using Putin and Kremlin talking points, which raises the prospect of, wait a minute, what if Elon's compromised? Now, I think a lot of us don't think he actually is compromised. We don't actually think he's a comrade, but it raises the specter of such. And Elon, as the master 4D chess player, potentially knows, hey, if I start getting myself involved on Twitter with negotiating peace in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia, maybe the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States will start wondering, oh, maybe there is a national security risk here. Oh, but let's talk national security. Elon Musk sued the Department of State for the right, and the U.S. Air Force for the right to compete in the satellite airspace to get Starlink network bands, rather than only companies like Boeing and Lockheed having the right to compete. So now Starlink is out there, and what just happened with Starlink? Elon Musk suggesting, hey, the Pentagon should cover the cost of $20 million per month for servicing Starlink in Ukraine. Now, we made a whole video on thoughts on this and details on this. Elon's decided to ultimately cover the bill, and there are so many debates about, hey, he said he was donating, why is he now asking? And then Elon says, well, I was asked to ask. Whatever, that part doesn't matter. What you have to think of for the purposes of this video here and this Twitter deal is that, think about it. If Elon Musk wanted the government to stop the Twitter deal from happening, what would he do, and how does that compare to what he is doing? Well, he would create the impression that him owning Twitter is a national security threat. Negotiating peace with Russia? That's somewhat of a national security threat. Potentially turning off the communication systems for Starlink for Ukraine? That's a national security issue. Here's another one. The Washington Post. Okay, wait. Let me phrase it this way. Another one? What if Elon Musk just goes in and fires everybody at Twitter? Well, gosh, that would be a bad look on the Biden administration, right? So, national security risk if you're talking to Putin or talking about peace with Putin. National security risk if you're shutting off internet or taking control of internet, threatening money, right? Like, that's a risk. And 3, if you're threatening to cut a bunch of jobs, that's a risk. And so 1 and 2 have happened. What's happened with number 3? Washington Post all of a sudden reporting that Elon Musk is confidentially suggesting he might cut 75% of Twitter's workforce in a matter of months. Now, that might be necessary. All of these things could just happen to be part of the plan anyway. But boy, oh boy, if you wanted to weasel your way out of this deal or potentially just drag the deal out to April when financing expires, why not potentially create this slander, right? Or slanderous opportunity right before, no, maybe it's not even necessarily slander, but this opportunity to make yourself look like a Jobs villain right before an election. Right before an election, make yourself look like the Jobs villain. So if the Biden administration lets Elon Musk go through, it's like, here he goes. Now he's just going to fire 75% of Twitter's workforce. Twitter's got a good amount of employees. I mean, number of employees. Let's see how Twitter has 7,500 employees. Okay, that's a lot of people. I mean, you take that and you fire 75%. That's 5,625 people gone. White collar jobs gone. We in the course member live stream this morning looked at obviously Snap, but we also looked at American Express. American Express starting to take larger losses for reserves because they're worried that white collar professionals are going to start losing their jobs. What? This is like such a U-turn from American Express. I mean, they're probably not wrong, but it's a U-turn and it's a red flag, okay? But think about the 4D chess moves that are happening here. Elon's trying to run the clock. So he's creating a national security risk with this potential negotiating with Putin, this potential shutting off Starlink, and this potential laying off of a bunch of people. I have to say, if Elon wanted out of this deal, this is like literally the perfect playbook for canceling this deal. It's brilliant. Now, do I support it? He overpaid for the deal. He screwed up, okay? He's way overpaying for the deal. He knows that. He's overpaying by a factor of 2 to 3 for this freaking deal, okay? He knows that. Look, I said that back in May. Actually, before May. It was like back in March when this was first talked about. That's not a surprise. Now we're beating a dead horse to say that. But Elon's been saying, hey, like, it's okay. Like, I know I'm overpaying, but I'll make it worth more. But then he goes further. I'll make it worth more by maybe negotiating peace with Russia or firing 5,600 people. Doesn't actually make you think he really wants this deal to go through. Really interesting, though, to almost weaponize the Biden administration to kill the deal. Now, no guarantees. The deal could still go through. The stock's at $50 instead of $54.20. It's actually not that much of a discount. So clearly the market is not that worried about it. Right now, the market's only pricing in a 7.4% chance or arbitrage opportunity here. That's nothing. So if you bought Twitter today and the deal went through, you're up 7.4%. That's not worth all the crazy risks going on. But I'll tell you, if Elon was trying to cancel the deal, this is playbook how to do it. This is how to get what you want in America. You play the game. And I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but boy, oh boy, it's entertaining. And get yourself life insurance in as little as 5 minutes by going to medkevin.com/life. Check out the courses on building your wealth, link down below. Invest in House Hack if you're an accredited investor. Get your money out of the Twitter deal and put it into House Hack. Not financial advice or solicitation. Go to househack.com to learn more because there's a deadline coming up in 10 days, October 31st. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.